Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video that I made on the request of a student of mine who wanted an easy 15 to 20 minute routine that she could do even on those days when we don't have class, when she's traveling, when I'm on holiday or I have exams. So I decided to create a well-rounded, wholesome routine for her. But this is something that anyone can do. So if you have 15-20 minutes, especially over Diwali break, this set of asanas is a great one to do, and the sequence is actually great. So I've included a lot of standing poses, some seated postures, and we end with Anulom Vilom Pranayam. So the sequence is here, and let's get started. So a good way to begin is in Uttanasana. So I'm going to keep my feet a little apart, maybe even to the edge of the mat, and bring your hands down to the floor. Now if you have to bend your knees, you could bend your knees also, but try to keep a straight back. Also, if you want to use like some blocks under your hands, you could do that also. If you're unable to reach all the way down, you could use your blocks very easily. And focus on really rotating the thighs in, focus on lengthening the hamstrings, widening the back of the legs. And this is really good when you wake up in the morning, and sometimes people have back pain, as soon as they wake up. So these asanas are also good for that. Now you're going to place your hands on the floor and step back into downward dog. So here also try to push yourself as far back as you can. Make the lower back active, roll the thighs in. Try to draw the femurs into the hip sockets as you press the hands down. And stay here. Breathe. Keep your breath very long and slow and deep. And then once again step forward into Uttanasana, except this time bring your feet together. And you're going to keep the fingertips on the floor, and here also try to open the chest. There's a tendency for many people to do this, but you should try and get the hips right on top of your ankles. And now here I like to do a little bit of core work. So what you're going to do is you're going to lift the right leg up as high as you can without opening the hips. So do not do this. Keep the thighs rolled down, knees rolled down, toes pointed down. Push the fingertips down and look straight ahead. You may be a little down here, that's fine, but try to keep lifting up. Lift from the thigh, lift from the heel, and bring the leg down. Now the same thing on the other side. So again, left leg goes up. To get stability in this posture, push the fingertips down. Keep the chest wide and stay here. Good. Now bring both legs down. Now place your hands on the floor and go back into your downward dog. Rotate the thighs in. Keep your feet together in downward dog. And here sometimes people have very slippery mats. So you want a good grip. Hold the outer edges of your mat. Roll the thighs in, and then you're going to lift the right leg up. So three-legged downward dog. So similar to what we just did, but again, do not open the hip. Keep the thigh rolled down. Toes rolled down. Good. And bring the leg down, and let's do the same thing on the left side. So lift up, lift up. You can also lift the right heel up if you want. And let's come down. Good. Now step forward into Uttanasana, feet together. Place your hands on the waist and come. Now let's do a few more standing asanas. So you're going to take the feet wide apart for Trikonasana. So I've taken the feet quite wide, and that's what I want you to do. You can use a block if you want. So let me just demonstrate with a block. So take the legs wide apart, and you're going to turn the right foot out. Place the block behind the right ankle. Inhale, take your hands up. Exhale, take the hands out to the sides. Then reach out to the right. Place the hand on top of the block. Take the left hand up. So you want to try to keep the chest open. Look up at the ceiling if you can. Hold for a while. Now, if you want, you could also make the block flat, so then you can come down a little bit more if you need that, or if you can do that. And then of course there's the variation without the block. So fingertips on the floor and lift up. Remember to keep the knees straight and you're looking up. And let's come up and go to the same thing on the left side. Right leg goes in, left leg goes out. Block behind the left ankle. Inhale, take your hands up. Exhale, take your hands out to the sides. Place the hand on top of the block, lift the right hand up. And when you only have 15-20 minutes, it's a good idea to hold the postures for a longer time rather than trying to do a bunch of postures in a short frame of time. Now, place the hand on the block, on a flatter block, and look up. And then finally, see if you can place your fingertips and look up. Good. And let's come up, hands on the waist. Now, let's go into Warrior Two, another essential basic posture that you should do every day. So turn the right foot out, left leg in. Inhale, take your hands up. Exhale, take your hands out to the sides. Let's bend the right leg and sink down. Refrain from doing this. Keep trying to reach back and sink the hips down. Back thigh tight. Good. And let's come down. Right leg in. Left leg out. Now again, let's sink down. Keep pushing the hips forward. There's a tendency to fall forward with the chest, but try to anchor the hips. Good. And then come up, hands on the waist. Now we'll do side angle posture or Konasana. So you're going to take the right leg out, left leg in. Inhale, take your hands up. Exhale, take your hands out to the sides. Bend the right leg. First we come into Warrior Two. And now, place the right hand on the floor behind the right leg. Extend the left hand up. Now, if you want, you could actually place a block under your right hand. Keep opening the chest. Look at your left fingertips. Good. And come up, hands down. Now, right leg in, left leg out. Since I have a block here, I'll demonstrate how to do the posture with the block. Inhale, take your hands up. Exhale, take your hands out to the sides. Bend the left leg, sink down. And now you're going to take this block, place your left hand on the block, extend the right hand out. Keep opening the chest. Look straight ahead. Look at your fingertips. Now, if you want, you can flatten the block and do the same posture. And after a couple of days, you can get rid of the block and just place the fingertips on the floor. Good. And then come up and hands down. Good. Now, both feet facing forward like we did in Trikonasana. Now, Warrior One. So you're going to turn the right foot out, turn the left leg in, so that both feet are facing forward. Hips are squared. Make sure the inner edge of the right foot is parallel to the edge of the mat. Inhale, take your hands up. And as you exhale, bend the right leg and sink down. Keep the back straight, keep the back long. Good. And then come up, hands on the waist. Let's get the right leg in, left leg out. Square the hips. Inhale, take your hands up. Exhale, bend the left leg and sink down. Remember not to lean forward with the chest. You're pushing the hips forward, but the chest is moving back. Good. And come back and walk the legs in. Now, one more thing that you should do every day is a little bit of like the squats or a little bit of core work. So I like to do the Utkatasana or the chair pose for that. So let's do that. We'll hold the chair pose for about 5 counts and then we'll come up. And you can repeat as much as you want. So inhale, take your hands up, keep your feet together. And as you exhale, bend the knees and reach out with both hands and sink the tailbone down. Remember that the knees should not go beyond the level of the toes. Keep reaching out with the hands, hold this, breathe. And come up and hands down. And again, you want to do as many of these as you want. All right, so now let me check if we've done all of the standing postures, and looks like we have. All right, so now let's do the seated postures, and I've included a little bit of twists with the seated postures because twists are also something that you should do every day. So now, for the seated postures, you can take a blanket or something soft, or even nothing at all for your feet. So I'm going to start with Janushirshasana. Right leg goes forward, left leg comes in, close to the groin. Now, if you're able to hold the foot from with both hands, go ahead and do that. If you're not able to hold, you can use a belt. And keep the back straight and keep looking straight ahead. Those of you who can hold, you can bend your elbows and come down. And keep pushing the leg down also. Try to keep the knee straight. Breathe. So the longer you hold, the better it is. I mean, the more it opens up. Good. And let's come up. And now the same thing on the other side. So then you bring the right leg in, left leg goes out. And again, you can extend the arms up so that the back is straight. Hold the outer edges of the foot and come forward. And come up. Now, Uttanasana. So both feet forward, and you're going to keep the back straight. Again, you can use a belt, or take the hands up, hold the feet, keep the back straight, bend your elbows. Imagine that you're lengthening the back. Try your best. As your body opens up, as the hamstrings open up, you'll be able to come further and further down. And come up. And now let's do a few twists. So for twisting, I always like Marichyasana. And I like to sit on a height for that. So you could use a bolster, or you could sit on a block, or even nothing at all if you're traveling and you don't have your props. All right, so you can sit straight, bend the right leg, bring it in close to the hip, extend the left hand up, place it on the outside of the right knee, and twist. Use the right hand to twist. Notice the left toes should be lifted up, active, chest open, rotate the shoulders back, try to open the chest. You can look over your right shoulder also. And then come back, and let's do the same thing on the other side. So right hand goes up, you place it on the outside of the left knee, and start to rotate and twist and open the chest. And try to get the right side of the body of the torso in line with the left thigh. Good. And let's come back. Now, one more thing that I really like to do these days, because it's great for the knees and for your legs, overall legs and thighs, is the Veerasana. So for Veerasana, use something soft, so you can fold your mat also. I'm going to use a block for my hips. Block is in between both feet. Roll the calf muscles out and sit down. So here you can just sit with the back straight, sternum lifted. Gradually you'll be able to remove the block which is under you. You also interlock your fingers together. Extend the arms up. Now release your arms, left hand on the right knee, take the right hand back and twist. So really try to get in there, lifting the sternum up and look over your right shoulder. And come up. Now interlock your fingers together again. Extend the arms up. And then let's release the arms, right hand on the left knee and twist back. Good. And let's come back. Also, it's a good idea to do a little bit of like something for back strengthening or back bending. So my favorite is Utkatasana. So for that I'm going to use a block, but you could also do it without the block. So the way to get into it is you're going to bring your feet as close to the hips as possible. Knees are wide, feet are wide. You lift the hips up, place the block under the tailbone and flatten the neck, shoulders on the floor. And stay here. Now if you don't have a block, what you could do is you could just lift your hips up, stay there for 5 counts, and then come down, and then again lift your hips up, stay there for 5 counts, and come down. So basically going up and down, but basically doing the same thing. Lifting the hips up, allowing the psoas muscles and the hip flexors to stretch out a little bit. And then whenever you feel like it, you could come down, and now is when you go into your Shavasana. So you extend the legs out, drop the toes out away from each other, hands on the floor, and close your eyes and relax.